Good morning, friends. It's good to connect up with you this morning. I'm kind of gone away again, but I didn't want to miss out on a short reflection on a psalm that I've been reading on this Tuesday morning, actually, although this will go live Wednesday tomorrow. And a bit of a puzzle, actually. I wonder if you get this when you read the Psalms and you read some of the words and think, what on earth is going on? Who's speaking to who here? And I read this verse this morning. You love evil rather than good, falsehood rather than speaking the truth. You love evil rather than good, falsehood rather than speaking the truth. And I'm reading that thinking, what's going on? Who's speaking to who here? Sometimes when I read the Psalms, it's wonderful words from God to me, and I take them on and think, oh, lovely, thank you, Lord. Sometimes it's David's encouragement or David's praise of God, and I can join in with that praise. But here, David is clearly really upset. He's talking to someone and saying, you love evil. And so when that happens, when I get puzzled about what's going on, a key thing to do is to go back to the beginning of the psalm and to find out what the title of the psalm is. Each psalm often has, most psalms have a title, and this can give us the context for when this psalm was written. Often it's by David, and it'll give a situation in his life where he was inspired to write this psalm. It's brilliant that this has been recorded, so we know the context of what he was going through when he wrote those words, and we can connect with that sometimes in our own lives. So the title of Psalm 52 is this: For the Director of Music, a Maskil of David. So that's just kind of what kind of a song it is. And then it says this: When Doeg the Edomite had gone to Saul and told him, David has gone to the house of Ahimelech. This is recounting a tale in 1 Samuel, round about chapter 21. David is on the run from King Saul. He goes to see Ahimelech the priest and gets some provisions from Ahimelech. But Doeg is there and spots David and his men getting the provisions, and Ahimelech helping him. And so Doeg goes straight to Saul, King Saul, and basically tells tales in the hope that he will become Saul's, ingratiated himself to King Saul. He will benefit from someone else's misfortune. Anyway, Saul gets Ahimelech, speaks to him, decides he's guilty as charged, sends Doeg to kill him and all the priests. It's a terrible event in David's life, terrible event in the Bible, really. And where does the problem lie? Well, David reflects on it in this psalm. He also speaks in the in 1 Samuel and talks about his regret about what happened. He realizes it was all down to him. But in this psalm, then, he begins to reflect on Doeg. He is the one who David is talking to. He says, you love evil rather than good, falsehood rather than speaking the truth. And we get a sense of David venting his frustration, anger, but he ties it all up into this psalm and turns it into a song that, yes, begins with a real critique of Doeg and what he did and how he used words for evil, but it comes round to God, to being in God's presence, to trusting in God, to being faithful and putting hope in God's name. And so as many of the Psalms that begin in discomfort, it ends with comfort. So it's worth reading the whole Psalm 52. So just an encouragement really for us to get the context and to recognize, yes, that there is a sense in which sometimes we might step away and start speaking falsehoods instead of the truth. But God is the one who knows. He sees. Doeg will benefit for a time, but then his world will come crashing down if he lives a life that's based on lies and falsehoods. And so we're just encouraged to remember to speak the truth, to remember, though, that God is there ready for us to turn to him. And in Jesus, any falsehood that we've lived under, any evil that we've entertained, will be wiped clean as we trust in him and his cleansing cross. So be encouraged today. Keep checking the context of the Psalms, and you might discover some amazing stories, some difficult stories like the one I've shared today. but also a sense in which God working through all that. And working through David. One more thing as well that David does that I've been hearing a bit about as I've been on my sabbatical is journaling and writing down our thoughts, our struggles, our joys, our challenges, our celebrations. And it seems to me David is doing that here. He's letting out all of his thoughts and contemplations about this nasty deed. And there's some there example for us how it's good to get things rather than bottle things up, to put them down, whether on paper or whether we speak them to others or whether we just shout them out to God. Actually, God is good, and he wants to listen. He wants to have that relationship with us. He wants to hear all aspects of what we're going through, and we can then pause and get a sense of him speaking to us. And that seems to be what David does through this psalm, as he senses that and puts his trust in God's unfailing love, as he says. So yeah, I just encourage you to continue learning from the Psalms. Well, hopefully I'll be able to post this remotely and look forward to connecting with you very soon. But for now, God bless.